while you were sleeping at 3 engsub part 2 inches. The next morning, Hongju wakes up all sunshine and rainbows thinking of Jae-chan, while he's grumpier than usual when little bro wakes him up forcefully. Little bro is distracted with thoughts of his pianist friend, but puts that aside and asks if Hyung is dating the neighbor Nunanel, which just puts Jae-chan in a fouler mood. Hongju, meanwhile, tells her mother about how Jae-chan is completely head over heels for her, turning the rice ball in her hands into a heart as she calls him handsome. Mom asks what happened to lawyer Yubum, and Hongju rips apart the rice heart at the mention of him. She asks how she could possibly date a man who old-framed her and sent them to their deaths, so Mom asks if she's swapping him out for the neighbor boy. Hongju declares magnanimously that since he saved her and Mom, she'll just have to repay him for the rest of his life and take him in. PFFT. Jae-chan tells little bro that Hongju is completely insane and full of delusions that he's in love with her. He says there should be some kind of law that makes people like her wear flowers in their hair so everyone knows to avoid them. Both brothers are surprised when Hongju rings the doorbell that morning with rice balls to share, and Jae-chan acts like the intercom has cooties as he turns her away, saying tersely that she needn't repay him for anything. She seems to get the hint, and then both Hongju and Jae-chan take the same route to work later that morning, shown in the same spots along the way in split screen. They must not be that far apart, since they encounter the same people, and at one point when Hongju runs into a little girl who's lost her balloon in a tree, she whispers something to her about a tall man with long arms. A few moments later, Jae-chan retrieves that balloon, and the little girl thanks him by name, Hey. Hongju pre-orders Jae-chan's morning coffee next, and then gets on the subway some minutes ahead of him and only to pop up like a stalker the moment he sits down. He tries to stop the man between them from giving up his seat, to no avail. Hongju guesses that he has a lot of questions, seeing as how it feels like she followed him but was here first. She explains that she saw him going to work in a dream, and shows him the post-its of the details she saw, like him retrieving the balloon, ordering coffee, and taking the subway. She points out that this proves her dream premonitions are real, which means that he did save her, and that she owes him. She hands him an umbrella and says he'll need it, and waits for his answer about her dreams. Jae-chan says he doesn't believe her, not because he can't, but because he doesn't want to. He vows never to believe it even if he has another dream like that, no matter who dies in it. He says that if he starts to believe it, there's no end in sight to saving people, and blaming himself if he can't. He asks how you're supposed to deal with that burden, and Hongju has no answer for that, seeing as how she can't handle it either. He crumples up her post-its and tells her to ignore the dreams, since that's best for her own sake. He tells her to find someone else if she really wants to change the future, and returns the umbrella before walking away. Hongju calls after him, "You were the only one. I don't know why it's you." He turns around at that, but tells her to look for someone else, since if there's two of them, there must be more. She watches him go and says forlornly that there isn't anyone but him. On a rooftop, a father, cameo by Choi Won-young, teaches his daughter how to pitch a baseball, and she tells him that she had a dream that his bus exploded and he died. She asks him not to go to work that day, and he says he'll consider it if she grants him a wish, looking at the baseball cap on her head. She sticks her tongue out at him in response. The sky is pouring rain by the time Jae-chan steps out of the subway station, and he sighs remembering Hongju's umbrella. He runs into his boss, who's hoping that he has an umbrella to share, but fellow prosecutor Shin Hee-min's, Go Sung-hee, beats him to the punch. She tells Jae-chan that there's only room for two, and he tells her to go ahead, speaking to her in Banmal. As they walk away, their boss asks Hee-min's why the matinee is speaking down to her, and she says it's because she's his hubby from school. Neither of them seems to approve, since he's the hubby now. The pianist's father watches elevator CCTV footage of him kicking his wife repeatedly, and the sick bastard has the gall to smile as he watches it. Unsurprisingly, his lawyer turns out to be Yoo Bum, and by the way they finish each other's sentences about how to handle the case, it's clear they've done this dance many times before. The husband assured that his wife won't press charges, because she would never put her daughter's future in jeopardy. Yoo Bum meets Hongju for coffee and says he came because he has questions for her, and wanted to at least hear an apology. Hongju says that she knows he's disappointed in her actions the night of the accident, and that she might sound like a crazy person because he didn't technically do anything wrong, but she won't be able to sleep at night without a clean breakup. She does say the word sorry repeatedly, except she's shouting it at him as if she's saying screw you, which makes for a hilarious apology. He's flabbergasted and just sits there not knowing what to make of her. Meanwhile, the bus driver dad is shocked when his daughter gets on his bus when she should be in school, but she says she couldn't shake her worry about the dream. That feeling only intensifies when a soldier gets on the bus just before they take off, because she recognizes his face. A moment later, the radio reports breaking news of a soldier who gunned down a police officer and is on the run. Uh-oh.